Okay, so let's make the little sister lamp of this big tall floor lamp. So if you look at reference image, you can see we have a set of little table lamps right here, which is basically the same exact design, same style. The only difference is that obviously it's shorter, smaller, and designed to go on top of the table. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create that. So we've already got the front view set up for us, which is great because we can just recycle a lot of our work. I'm going to select all the objects that make up the big tall lamp. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold down Shift and clone this one time. Might be a little bit hard to see right there. So I'm going to place this so that the top portion of the lamp matches up with the image here. Pretty close. Okay, so something like this looks pretty good. Then what I'll do is I'll select the bottom part down here, select all the vertices that make up the bottom. I'm just going to move that up. So it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy to do here. And we do have to scale some of this stuff down. So I'm going to do is select all of these vertices there, grow the selection a couple of times. Let me go to the perspective view just to make sure we're doing everything right. Let me grow that again one time. Okay, so basically just this stuff is what I want to have selected. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scale that down to about right here. Looks pretty good. To match with the image pretty close. Let's select all those top vertices up there and move these down to about right here. And then this entire piece up here, the little bulge piece, has to be kind of moved down a bit like this. And we may have to bulge it out a little bit more. But of course that could be some distortion being caused by the image, so we have to keep that in mind. So I'll move this down to about right here. And the light bulb, all the other stuff I'm going to leave alone. That's where it's supposed to go. Okay. Turn on NURMS toggle for that. And that's what we have. Doesn't match up to the exact size of the image there, but again, the image has some perspective distortion, so I don't want to rely on it too much or else I'm going to sit here tweaking back and forth and never finish this. Okay, so there's the table lamp. Looks a bit stretched out right there on the top, but looks like that's the way it's supposed to go according to the image. So I'm going to say I'm happy with that. Alright, so now that I got this done, what I can do now is I can export this stuff out. So how am I going to export it out? Well, I'm going to export this stuff as containers. Okay, I'm going to make containers for each of these. So basically I'm going to select all the elements that make up the tall lamp. I'm going to go to the Tools menu, go to Containers. I'm going to go to Create Container from Selection. Okay, and I'll rename the container to Floor Lamp so we know what it is. And I need to save this container out. Okay, we worked with containers in the previous volume, volume 2 of this tutorial series. So this should be pretty familiar to you. What I'm going to do this time though is this option here that says when content is inherited, allow edit in place. I'm going to turn that on so we can edit easier when we import it into the next scene, okay? Now, unlike with OBJ objects, when you export those out, you can export objects as containers, and they could be in NURMS mode. Basically, they could be sub-Ds, and it won't mess them up when they get imported. It shouldn't. It'll leave them alone, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to save this out as floor_lamp. So we know what it is. Alright. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this guy over here. And I'm going to go to Tools, Containers, Create Container from Selection. And this one I'm going to do the same thing. Turn on the Allow Edit in Place parameter. I'm going to hit Save. I'm going to call this one Table Lamp. And there we go. There's our little container icons right there. Alright. So now we got that done, we're pretty much done with the table lamps. Later on we can go back to our main production scene and we can import this stuff in as containers, and we have ourselves a set of lamps.